It's very appropriate for us to remember that every day, somewhere in the world, little babies die because of abortion. And we thank God that this isn't happening here in Northern Ireland. A few months ago, I went to Liverpool to stand outside a hospital where little Alfie Evans was being sentenced to death. And I went there to unite with his parents. But when you go to England or America or any other country where abortion is legal, you feel that in your spirit. You know that even whilst you're there and you have left this beautiful country where children are protected, in the other parts of the world, children are not as privileged as our children are at this time. So when I stood there outside that hospital, it was a privilege to stand there and be a voice, a witness for little Alfie Evans. Some people didn't get the parallel of the importance of that child's life and his sentence to death. But some people did. Hundreds of thousands of people held vigils all over the world. We had one in Belfast and there was one in Derry. You see, Alfie Evans was the face that we could see. We could see his little face because his father made him visible. His father and mother courageously spoke to the media about the death sentence that hung over that child's life. But there are millions of children that we can't see. And sadly, little Alfie Evans did lose his life because he lost his life because every day in the UK, 550 little babies are brutally murdered in hospitals and in abortion centres. And Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor, said, "To forget the dead is akin to killing them all over again." He said, after he came from the camp, when he survived it, "Never shall I forget that night, the first night in the camp that turned my life into one long night, 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget the small faces of the children whose bodies I saw transformed into smoke under a silent sky. Never shall I forget those flames that consumed my faith forever." And what's the parallel? The parallel is we can't see the babies in the womb. We can't even hear them. Only in our spirit, only in our prayers. But little Alfie Evans, whose parents had thought about coming here to share their story but couldn't because they're still grieving, have to be remembered because he made a statement to the world. In our time and our generation, and the same with Charlie Gard and many other wee children that are denied health care, we stood by helplessly. No one could save that child's life, not even Pope Francis, who did everything. While I was there was a helicopter waiting to take that child to safety to receive care. But he was systematically murdered. He was systematically denied the basic human rights of a drink of water. Every day, children in the womb are systematically murdered in their mother's wombs in the name of so-called health care. Elie Wiesel said, "To forget the dead is akin to killing them all over again." So just for a moment, we gathered here, we'll take a moment, a minute's silence. We will be silent to ask God to forgive this world for what they do to the least of his little children, our brothers and sisters.